Oh boy, we hit the jackpot this time.
So, all y'all motherfuckers thinking it's on me? Y'all ain't doing shit, man. Cause I'm on the rise, fucking. What you gonna do? Nothing. Well, punk ass motherfuckers. Sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Now listen up. Time to teach you a lesson, little boy. Let's go. Haha, Scarface, bitch. Yeah. I'm so sick of these motherfuckers always looking at me like they wanna get a motherfucking piece of me. Everybody always wanna try to keep me from making motherfucking history of my motherfucking name. Here I am looking right at you. Motherfucking names acting like you gonna fucking do something when really you ain't gonna motherfucking do shit. Here I am making a name for myself. Ain't no way I'm never gonna stop. I'm going straight to the motherfucking top, and I got no intentions on motherfucking stopping me. Here I am running right over every single one of you acting like you're gonna do something. Hell nah, you better get a motherfucker through. The name is motherfucking Skullface. I'll hit you with the motherfucking skull right in the motherfucking face, and I won't give no fucks. I'm done giving a fuck about you motherfucking names. Everybody won't try to throw my motherfucking career in no motherfucking grave. Y'all ain't doing shit, fucking. Nice try though. But try hard, fucking. Y'all ain't ever gonna motherfucking shut me down. Ain't no way I'm ever gonna go down. Here I am, running around on what I gotta do to make it for my motherfucking family. Here you are, staring right at me, wishing you could be me, bitch. You would never ever be me. I am up on another level that you can never fucking handle. So sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and let me teach you a lesson, son. Let me show you what you gotta do if you wanna live on the level that I'm motherfucking getting into. Let me tell you what you gotta do. Mind your own motherfucking business. Stay the fuck out of mine. Get your fucking ass in line. Don't make me have to bury you 6 feet deep beneath the motherfucking earth. Have you smelling motherfucking fine? Ain't no way I'm never gonna run at a time. I'm always on time, and I never ever be a no-show. I always stay on the grind 24/7. I don't even fucking sleep. All I do is fucking eat. I don't ever sleep, cause I'm staying on that motherfucking grind every day of my life. And I'm gonna keep going till I get mine. I always stay on top of my motherfucking business. I always do what I gotta do to get that motherfucking money up. Ain't no way I'm never gonna give up till I make it. And I hit it for my motherfucking family. Ain't no motherfucking life Marty ever gonna motherfucking stop me. I'm so sick of these motherfucking names acting like they know me. So they wanna throw around my name, acting like they got something to say. Acting like all they do is spit motherfucking facts. But the truth is, if facts ain't nothing but motherfucking lies, man. Thinking that you're stopping me, but the truth is I'm above you, and you're always and forever gonna be below me. Nice try. I'm fucking. I stay on that grind 24/7, and I don't sleep. So try me.
Wow. Obviously very powerful stuff. Very difficult to follow that banger by Cyrax. Before I get into the main topic of Cyrax claiming that he was too ugly to graduate high school, I do want to quickly point out a new piece of Cyrax big boy racing getup that he's got going on here. Shout out to Tawdry Happ. Thank you very much for sending me this link. I got a real kick out of it. You know what? Here, shit. I really should have came prepared here. Trying to find the link where you sent it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Obviously, you guys all know about the big boy steering wheel. I don't need to tell you about that. Let me scroll down here to get the timestamps. But even more adorable and silly and ridiculous is Cyrax's new racing harness. Let me try to cue it up here. All right, I'm just gonna poke around and try to find where it is. Okay, look, check this shit out. Check this shit out. Prepare to have your mind blown here. Adding to Cyrax's big boy racing wheel, his little footy pedals, he now has a harness for his seat so he doesn't fall out of it while he's racing and hurt himself. Check this out. I mean, prepare to have your mind blown. I did a little bit of cursory research and was able to discover that it is the 44,000th, 384th most popular video game accessory. I don't know how many there are in existence, but I would imagine this is in the bottom 2% of sold products. Check this shit out. All right, you can see the two straps right there with the clips. I don't know if Cyrax has been falling out of his wheel a lot. I'm not sure if that's an ongoing problem. If so, I would probably invest in a racing helmet for him way before I would buy this fucking contraption because it just seems like a fucking stupid piece of shit.
Marty's right here, and I just throw this on, which is cool as fuck.
Yeah, he also says this increases, well, I guess decreases his race time. It makes him faster. It makes him more efficient and effective. I don't understand how.
So you just do like this, and then I tie this off.
Yep, they're rainbow-colored straps. That is true. A fucking horrible.
Down here. And this goes to one shoulder.
In the comments here. See, like I'm trying to click hide on that. Yeah, it's gonna bother my ADD. I think I'm just gonna reset the fucking thing here. Give me one moment. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. And right here. Okay, perfect. Why here? Weird.
And the other strap goes over like this. And you just do the same thing with the other one. Most of the time I attach them to this right here.
Like, why would anybody ever need or use this? This is only sending him deeper into his delusions. Like, people can say what they want about Sally. I'm not sure how many people have actually had the privilege of speaking to her back in the house phone days, but she could be a reasonable woman sometimes. and even kind, cordial. It was strange because we'd be calling her like 4 a.m, just ringing the shit off the hook, and sometimes she would actually make sense. But by buying Cyrax this fucking getup and convincing him that he's a race car driver when he's just a sad little fanatic, it's only doing him a tremendous disservice, in my opinion. Like, this equipment should be tossed. If Cyrax wants to play race car driver, let him make enough money to earn it. So this isn't all just a fucking joke. And then maybe he'll get in touch with reality at some point. But as is, Sally, this was the worst thing you could have gotten him for Christmas. I would much rather you have got Cyrax a straitjacket and put him in it. It would really be infinite his mental health.
Here, it's actually got a really cool clip set right here, which I fucking love.
True, that's true.
See, it's got this little loop right here.
Yes, it is a racing contraption. That is correct. Click it or ticket. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is correct. Safety first, ladies and gentlemen. Safety first. Look how proud he is. I don't know if this is made for children or if this is adult sized. I'm not entirely sure.
Damn, instant wheel rig. I tell you what, I want to set you guys down.
Yeah, he's just eager to put his new equipment to use. And most ridiculously, he says that he's explaining how it helps his performance. It helps him stay centered. I'm not sure when he says it.
And I know what you guys thinking, dude, why use a racing rig belt if you're not in a race car?
Why use? It's a great question. I think it's a question on everyone's mind. Why use a racing rig belt when you're not in an actual race car?
A racing rig. And I know what you guys thinking, dude, why use...
That's very perceptive of Cyrax. He's usually not so in tune with other people or reality, but he was able to read the audience's mind here, and hopefully he'll come up with an eloquent explanation on how he benefits from its use.
And I know what you guys thinking, dude, why use a racing rig belt if you're not in a race car? Because it helps keep me steady on the track.
Yeah, it helps keep him steady on the track, guys.
Like, it helps keep me in my seat, it keeps my back aligned, it keeps me...
It helps keep him in his seat. It keeps his back lined. You know what I was thinking here? Here, 1 second. Sorry, just a little bit of a dry throat. Hopefully, Sally got this harness and is going to strap him into his chair until he finishes his 1,000 laps. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Just tighten him in and keep him stuck there until he does what he's agreed to do and what he's claiming he can't do and what he was born to do, in some people's opinion. I don't know. But if that's its intended use, then I would say, okay, Sally, that's a great Christmas gift. Lovely. Fantastic. So, all right. On to the meat and potatoes here. Cyrax claiming that he was essentially too ugly to graduate from his high school, from North High School, the sweatshirt he's got on him right now. You're going to learn a whole lot about the school system in Akron and abroad. One moment here. Okay. Yes, perfect. Okay, here we go, guys. It's going to be a fairly brief stream, maybe 45 minutes or an hour from here, and then it's time for bed, as they say.
What's up, guys? Chance here. Right. Fix this. You know what? Here. You guys are probably wondering what this live stream is about. Give me a moment to do what I usually do.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of a preface here. He is about to expound and elaborate upon a concept known as selective passing, in which any student who has less than a 4.0 grade point average is not allowed to graduate, unless they are attractive or athletic. Athletic people and attractive people are given a free pass through high school, and those who are 5'1" with weak wrists are simply not allowed to graduate, and they're colluded against by the administration. It is a multi-layered, multifaceted scheme here meant to oppress and repress Cyrax and people like him.
And I will explain everything. What's up to everybody watching right now? I'm not sure who's watching, but what's up? Give me just a moment here, and I will explain everything entirely. Because this is something that's kind of been on my mind that I feel needs to be spoken about.
It does. It does.
And not just as I was originally going to make this a post on Facebook, but I figured, no, I better put this out in the open.
Yep. This is a hard-hitting expose on the Akron school system and on the American education infrastructure.
So that way maybe something can be done about it. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, I'm rocking my North High School hoodie.
Well, it's weird that he is rocking this North High hoodie, considering the claims and allegations he is about to unfurl upon the North High School, the Vikings.
From here in Akron, Ohio.
And a little bit of trivia in the chat here, or if anybody watches this, tomorrow, basically. What high school did Cyrax go to previously? What was the name of the high school? And what was their mascot?
Go North High Vikings. Much love to you guys. Alright, what is up, everybody? You guys are probably wondering what this live stream is about. Well, it's something called that.
Okay. The discrimination that Cyrax is claiming he experienced, it just seems very bizarre to me that he would be wearing the school's sweatshirt, almost as if he continues to support them, despite their plot and ploys to discredit him and to hold him back from achieving his potential. It would almost be like one of those guys in Penn State, one of those kids, wearing a Penn State sweatshirt after Jerry Sandusky fucked him. You know what I mean? It just kind of sends like a dual message here. Like, are you a victim or are you a fan? Are you just a real big fan of Penn State? I'm not going to victim blame those kids. God forbid what happened. Did watch the Paterno documentary yesterday. Not good, Jerry. Not good.
I picked up on my own through, various friends who actually went to the same school as I did, and other friends that I grew up with who went to other high schools.
All right, nobody got the answer correct. I'm a little bit disappointed in you guys. The correct answer was the Garfield Rams. He used to wear the Ram Pride wristband until I suggested the fact that he wore that wristband as proof that he belonged to Ram Ranch Records and does belong to Ram Ranch Records. The Cyrax brand does belong to Ram Ranch Records. If you're not going to wear it, Cyrax, you might as well send it to me.
Went through a similar situation, and I'm not sure, like, there's not really any name for it, but everybody that I know of is calling it the selective passing process.
Yeah, the selective passing process. Now, I encourage and implore all of you to Google, in quotes, selective passing and high school, in quotes, to isolate both search terms. The only references you will find are in reference to high school football teams who I guess had selective passing games, where they were, I guess, ran the ball a lot, and then selectively passed. But aside from that, there is no record of this term existing in applications to discrimination towards graduation for, I guess, ugly or unpopular students. Like, I've never heard of this before. No one else has Cyrax. This is merely a fabrication, a concoction, all of your own.
And you guys are probably wondering, hey, what's the selective passing process? Like, what does this have to do with our school systems? Well, allow me to explain that to you. What does selective passing
How old is
process
Cyrax? That's a great question.
is?
I know the answer. I'm going to allow the chat to take a guess at it. I do happen to know the answer. Cyrax. So basically, we're led to believe here. Greetings, Carrie Silveri. Greetings, Stewie. Welcome to the stream. We're basically led to believe here that if you got a B on a spelling test, guess what? You're not graduating high school. You got a D on a Constitution test. Guess what? You're not graduating high school. And there's not a thing you can do about it. Sounds plausible.
I know what you guys are thinking. Hey, if I have all my credits, how can they keep me from graduating? Well, trust me, they can, because the school board's in on it as well.
Yeah, the school board's in on it. The teachers are in on it. The coaches are in on it. The fucking janitors are in on it. If you rub them the wrong way, no matter what you do, you can put all the right answers in on your math test. Doesn't matter. Like 2 + 2 = 4. Nope, not anymore. See you, Cyrax. Nope, you fail. Who was the first president of the United States? George Washington? Nope, it was Camp Time Racing or something. Cyrax is trying to lead us to believe that correct answers were rejected and proven to be false. And I perhaps, maybe, he seems to have several friends who this has happened to as well, several unfortunate victims of this administrative discrimination. It's just really terrible.
What they would rather do, instead of helping.
Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, man, you got it. You got it.
Work very hard. And you guys are probably wondering, hey, who actually went to the same school as I did, and
yeah, so Cyrax and his cronies and his flunkies, literal flunkies, all banded together and came up with a theory on why they aren't being allowed to graduate.
Other friends that I grew up with who went to other high schools, who went through a similar situation, and I'm not sure, like, there's not really any name for it, but everybody that I know of is calling it the selective passing process. And
and I don't know if, I'm not sure what was lost or what you guys missed out on. But if you look up the selective passing process in regards to high schools, it seems to be a football terminology and has no reference or no acknowledgement, rather, by any institution as a legitimate concept that is ongoing or has existed or could exist.
You guys are probably wondering, hey, what's the selective passing process? Like, what does this have to do with our school systems? Well, allow me to explain that to you. What the selective passing process is, if you do not have a 4.0 GPA or higher than a 4.0.
Yeah, so if you don't have a perfect grade point average, you are disqualified. You're not allowed to graduate. It's just not going to happen. No matter what you do, see ya. Bye-bye. You're gone. You're donezo.
The schools basically make it impossible for you to graduate. I know what you guys are thinking. Hey, if I have all my credits, you know, how can they keep me from graduating?
Yeah, I mean, what is pi? 3.14159? No? Well, you lose, Cyrax. It's actually 0, so get lost. You're not graduating. You can take your cap and gown and wipe your fucking ass with it. We're not letting you graduate here at North High. And if this was the type of process that Cyrax endured, why would he proudly be wearing the sweatshirt today?
Well, trust me, they can, because the school board's in on it as well. What they would rather do, instead of helping those out like myself who work very...
Dogs of War, I'll have you know. This is a little-known fact, but Cyrax also claimed that he could have been a professional baseball player as a pitcher if it wasn't for high school baseball being all politics, another form of discrimination that he was forced to endure at the cold, cruel, callous hands of the North High administration. You know, I asked him like how fast he could throw. He said, you know, about 50 to 55 miles per hour, you know, which would never come anywhere near a professional baseball field. But he still believes that it was all politics and that he somehow was the victim of mistreatment. Maybe so.
Hard.
But if you're going to consider that, please watch this video about Cyrax's discrimination and consider and weigh that as a factor, because it seems to all just be in Cyrax's head.
To get the credits they need to graduate, they would rather focus on the look of the school. They would rather focus on, you know, their school's status or...
Yeah, so basically what he's saying here, if you're like a handsome kid, if you're an attractive young lady, the teachers are going to give you high marks because it keeps the school beautiful.
Instead of helping those out like myself who work very hard to get the credits they need to graduate, they would rather focus on the look of the school. They would rather focus on, and
this automatically defeats his premise that the school is trying to beautify its appearance by getting rid of the uglies. Because if that were the case, you would think they would have let Cyrax graduate instead of trying to keep him around. Could he be arguing that he is so handsome and such a stunningly breathtaking man that they wanted to keep him around the school just to keep up appearances? Because if they wanted to get rid of him because he's ugly, they would have allowed him to graduate, I would think, instead of trying to keep him around. But, also, you have to consider what Skull Kid has divulged and unearthed about this potential bathroom masturbation incident, which forced him to leave the school in disgust and disgraced. Who knows? We'll never really know what happened. But the lack of clarity in his claims, in his argument, does kind of lend credence to this potential bathroom jerk-off incident.
their school's status or the highest scores in the school's football games, or they would rather focus on those students who are like the valedictorian. And
well, yeah, Cyrax, the valedictorian is going to graduate high school. Like you would hope, you would think that he would graduate high school unless he committed something terribly indecent.
The MVP of the football league at the schools and stuff.
Cyrax, if you can't graduate high school, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just sorry, man. Like, it's what it boils down to. You're a fucking dunce. I don't know how many people had a 4.0 grade point average. I don't think everyone had a 4.0 grade point average that graduated. I just find that highly implausible. I think somebody might have gotten a C chemistry at some point, and by your terms, would have been ineligible to graduate, because later on, Cyrax says that he had 3.8, but his grade point average wasn't good enough to graduate. It just doesn't make any sense. And, I'm going to pay attention to the chat here. If you guys can come up with your own theories on what happened, I'd love to hear them, because this is very murky and very convoluted.
And you guys are probably wondering, where am I getting all this from? Well, I myself have been a victim of this.
Yes, I am.
I've been a victim of the selective passing process. Because, see, I never got to graduate. And the reason why is because of the school system. See, going into high school my last year.
Yeah, I'm sure like a school board meeting, they're talking amongst themselves like, hey, you know what we got to do? We got to get rid of the ugly kids. No matter what answers they submit, what's 6 times 7? 42? Not anymore, ugly. No, see you later. But better luck next year. Good luck passing our classes. It's just crazy.
I was very, very far behind on work, credits, all that stuff. And, I had really, sat my butt down and I put in the work. Like, I worked my butt off day and night to, catch up and do what I needed to do to graduate.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen him write it all. There's a reason that his book projects are strictly picture books. I don't know how Cyrax is able to look at his clear deficits and not just – well, I guess it's probably difficult to accept that you're just a dummy. But I think he truly believed that his work was exceptional, just like he does with his music. The only thing he really does well, in my opinion, is dancing. And he's an incredible little dancer. And I've always said this. And I just wish he would take my hand and trust me and go with the process. But when COVID dies down, and Cyrax, if you're listening, and I know you watch these, so just so you know, the offer's on the table here. When COVID dies down, and, there's people are allowed to attend sporting events, and, the subways are open. And, I would love, and I'll even pay you up front. I'll pay $200 up front, and anything else I get to keep. But you're going to be working 6 to 8 hour days, spray painted gold, dancing the robot outside of baseball games, outside of train stations, possibly at busy intersections, and you get your $200 and I get everything else. And you're going to dance in the snow. You're going to dance in the sleet. You're going to dance in the hail. You're going to be out there. In fact, it might be more than 6 to 8 hours a day. You might have to work 14 hours a day to make your $200. But the point is, Cyrax, we're going to be, if you get on board, you can have a chance to do what you love, which is your art, and we can both make a nice living from it. And I'd be living my dream. And if you wanted to play your music while you danced, or you wanted to rap while you danced, and you can consider it a musical performance, and that'd be great. I don't care what you do, as long as you're dancing in that gold outfit.
And I had been able to confirm that, yes, I did have all of my credits. Like, you know, I was able to confirm that I had all of my credits. You know, I had turned in all my senior dues. I had paid off everything. And, you know, I was doing really good. Like, I was literally, like, I was close to be in the top of my class. Like, I was really close.
Yeah, totally.
And I think I had, like, a 3.8, 3.9 GPA. Like, I was only a couple points off of having a 4.0.
I mean,
like, I had worked my ass off day and night.
Yeah.
Sorry for the cussing. I know what I said this morning, but
yeah. So Cyrax may have gotten like a couple Bs over the course of his 4 years at North and Garfield High. And I guess that just wasn't good enough because they got to get rid of the uglies. It seems to be like a common goal of the school board.
Yeah, just go with it. And, you know, that day before graduation, you know, we did our usual thing. We had an assembly for, you know, students and stuff like that. And, you know, I ultimately wound up receiving the Most Improved Student of the Year award.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have this and you're respected at your, what do they call it, at your old stomping grounds. But did you guys have a Most Improved Student of the Year award? I can't say I recall that. Yeah, Winston Churchill. Absolutely. 3.99 GPA. Yep. No good. No good. Not going to cut it. Yeah, I love when new people pop in and defend Cyrax. They have no clue they're defending one beater. Well, it actually gets a lot worse than that. It's a little too late to get into it, a little too dark. Because what has been uncovered about Cyrax is honestly depressing and disturbing and depraved. But he was in this bizarre online sexual relationship where he and Heather 1, or it may have been Heather 2, I'm not sure which Heather it was, but he and Heather were sexually like the mommy and daddy of a little baby, and they all had an intimate and loving relationship, but the baby was an adult. It was like this weird guy. And I'm going to have to get into that at a later date, but I'm just letting you know, like, it's going to be dark, and I'm giving you an opportunity to hop off the ship. And, you know, whatever I say or think doesn't really matter. But, you know, what's about to be uncovered on Cyrax is going to change your opinion. The hammer. But, yeah, you know, that's there's your attention. You know, all right, nice.
Because, you know, I'd worked so hard to, you know, get to where I was at. And, you know, later on that day, we did rehearsals for graduation. You know, we went through the whole process where every student is going to sit. You know, what's going to happen. We had gone through all of that, like, that next day.
So, if this is true, they were just lining everyone up for the graduation. And they saw that Chance would probably be standing in the front row since he's like a midget. And they're just like, ooh, you know, can't have that. Can't have that. I guess we're going to have to keep him around for another year to finish his credits. And we'll say that all of his answers were wrong the whole time. Upon further review, your essays were shit, you know. They definitely were. If you've seen him writing, he doesn't use any periods or commas. And he'll make a single sentence turn into a paragraph. And, you know, it's just really tough. It's really jumbled. And I would love to see him write an essay or see some of his old work. You know, I love a good essay. You know I love a good essay if you follow me.
You guys are like, let me know down in the comments if you guys are noticing a change in the screen. Because I did brighten it up a little bit, so it should help. Hopefully it did, because I did brighten it up. And I didn't know I could do that on this, so yay me for figuring that out. Even though it was simple.
Yeah, like basic algebra.
I still didn't know. But anyways, back on top. You know, and, you know, like we had gone through the whole, you know, process, like I said. You know, we had gone through rehearsals, you know, all day long. You know, we had finished up what few classes we had. And, you know, then it was time for the seniors to head out. So, you know, we wound up heading home for the day. But during that day, I had gotten called out to the...
And he talks about the school's posterity and trying to keep a strong image and maintain a positive reputation. But I would think that like their graduation rates are probably like the #1 metric that they use, and they probably don't want to have to hold anyone back, especially if they're a problem like Chance. You would think that they'd want to get rid of them.
Principal's office, and I figured, you know, maybe I was going up there to, you know, get my cap and gown, you know, all that stuff, because they were doing that throughout the day. They were calling students up to get their cap and gowns for graduation as they were getting there. So I figured, you know, all right, you know, I'm going to go there, you know, pick up my cap and gown, you know, grab my stuff that I had paid for, and then head back to class.
What is the HB pencil? Yeah, I mean, I know about like we had #2 pencils. I don't know HB, but I remember like #2 was a pretty big deal.
Well, instead of picking up my cap and gown, you know, the principal said that they wanted to talk to me. So I was like, all right, you know, like I figured maybe something was up. You know, like maybe I forgot to pay something off or something like that.
Forgot to pay something off. You know, to the best of my awareness, and maybe you guys have different experiences, but you never had to really pay for anything. You know, aside from like for sports, like if you lost a jersey, you'd have to pay for it. You know, and that happened a couple of times. But even like, say that I didn't pay that off, I would imagine that I would still be allowed to graduate. Like they wouldn't be like, nope, sorry, you're not no, all your credits, we're denying them until we get our $130 or whatever it is. You know, it's just outrageous. I have no idea what Cyrax is talking about here. Did you guys incur any high school debts? Like he's talking about a public high school here. What kind of debts could there possibly be?
I mean, I didn't know. I was like, all right, you know, like whatever, you know, pick up my cap and gown or, you know, something like, you know, along those lines. I didn't know what was coming next. I come to find out that the principal sat down and had to talk with me and stuff, and they straight out said,
yeah, right.
You know.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, Tawdry. You know, the principal was just lying in wait and setting his trap to ambush Cyrax, to build him up and to break him down, to let him know that he's going to be kept around for another year because his good looks are needed to beautify the school.
That because I don't have a 4.0 GPA, and that because I supposedly don't have all my credits, which I did.
Okay. If you don't have a 4.0 grade point average, guess what? Bye-bye. See you later. I think by that definition, North High School is a harder school to graduate from than Harvard University. What do you guys think about that? North High School is harder to graduate from than Harvard University. Because if you get one bad mark, you're done. So you can't graduate.
That I was not allowed to graduate with my class.
True.
And
yeah, but Cyrax is saying that he worked his hardest and he really came from behind. So I don't know. There do seem to be some inconsistencies and contradictions.
Argued with my principal back and forth for like an hour straight, proving to her time and time again that, hey, I have all my credits. You need to let me graduate high school. Like, you need to let me graduate with my class. Because I had already paid for my cap and gown. I already had paid for my yearbook. I had already paid off my senior dues.
Well, yeah, he probably paid for all that shit and wasn't doing his work or was failing classes and was just not getting it. Was just being a fucking idiot. And, he's obviously very impossible to work with. I'm sure the teachers at first wanted to give him a helping hand, would bend over backwards trying to help him get it. But he's just, if he was a dum-dum, I think they'd let him slide. But he's just such a piece of shit and such a little fucking jerk-off that he becomes impossible to deal with.
Plus, from time to time, I would help out the school newspaper whenever I could. Like, not like all the time, but, I would, give them ideas on stuff they can write about or stuff, that was going on in school that they kind of wanted to know about from time to time. So, and I know it was pretty fun doing that, actually. I kind of enjoyed that.
Wait, what did he do? Sorry, hang on.
Plus, from time to time, I would help out the school newspaper whenever I could.
Okay, if you've seen him write, you know that is a virtual impossibility.
Like, not like all the time, but, I would, give them ideas on stuff they can write about or stuff, that was going on in school.
Yeah, and I'm sure he was a real helping hand.
That they kind of wanted to know about from time to time.
Oh.
So, and I know it was pretty fun doing that, actually. I kind of enjoyed that. I know you guys thinking, why didn't you join the school newspaper? Answer to that, didn't really have the interest in it until like literally my last year of high school. I never really took a real interest in the school newspaper until last year of high school because I didn't realize how much of an impact.
I wonder what that moment was when Cyrax had this deep awakening, this profound realization that the school newspaper does make a giant impact on the students' lives. Like, what story did he come across that was so poignant and compelling that it woke in a passion within him? It was at that moment that Cyrax realized he needed to be part of the school journalism. I wish I could have read that article that inspired him so deeply.
And how much of an effect it had on our students until that final year. Well, they had told me that I couldn't graduate, and as I just said, I argued with them back and forth for like an hour straight. Like, literally an hour straight. And,
here's what I think happened. I think Cyrax lied to Sally and told her that he was on pace to graduate, and she probably inquired, like, hey, Cyrax, dude, so you're going to need a cap and gown this year, right? And he probably was like, yeah, sure, Sally, okay, whatever, and lied to her. And it all came unraveling in the final days before graduation. That's just my hunch. I don't know.
I straight out told them, if you're not going to let me graduate, then I may as well just say screw this and walk out and quit. But just know that when
94 in the class, that's not bad, Tawdry. But guess what? That falls short of a 4.0. If you went to North High, you wouldn't get to graduate.
I walk out, I will be fighting this. And, ultimately, that's what I wound up doing. They would not let me graduate. So, I'll fix this here. Sync is tipping upward. There we go. But, ultimately, they did not allow me to graduate with my class. And so I wound up walking out and quitting. And, I had called my mom up, let her know what was going on. I had gotten home that day, sat down with her, explained everything that was going on, about how I wasn't allowed to graduate, even though I had all my credits. And actually, I wound up with a couple extra credits.
Yeah, so not only did he have all the necessary credits, he had extra credits.
I want to say those extra credits were for Algebra 1 and 2, and I think Language Arts. I don't remember what the extra credits.
Okay, like if the extra credits are Algebra 1, then those aren't extra credits. It's been a while, obviously, but I think it's like a freshman in high school course, right? Like Algebra 1, even if you're like a dum-dum. That can't be like an extra credit. It's pretty elementary, this just isn't adding up, Cyrax.
Credits for 4, but I had a couple extra.
In language arts, I think that's like grade school terminology.
Well, we had eventually wound up
correct
fighting it. And, we had gone to the school board and everything. We made our case. We put together our case to fight it and showed tons of evidence proving to them that I should have graduated. And unfortunately, I was unable to win that case because of the fact.
Yeah, so what it sounds like is Cyrax wasn't able to complete Algebra 1 and therefore couldn't graduate high school. That's just, I'm not trying to laugh at him, but that seems to be what really happened. There wasn't any preference to the jocks or to the attractive people. There is no inherent bias or scheme to deprive the uglies of their diplomas. I just don't see this taking place. If there is, then Cyrax should definitely reach out for an attorney, and he can gather up all the other misfits, and they could file a class action lawsuit.
That the head principal of this high school is buddy with the head person at the school board. Like, they're really good friends with the head of the school board. And
oh, shit. Yeah, Big Will, let it be known that the little violin, yeah. Big Will, it should be known that Cyrax did believe you committed suicide last night, and he said you basically deserved it for disrespecting his music. So, you got that coming.
All kinds of stuff. And it was a mess. We fought it for about 3-4 months. And unfortunately, due to that and our school being the way up, I was unable to graduate. And do I have the answer on, how to prevent stuff like this? I honestly wish I did.
Yeah, learn your times table, Cyrax. That's how you solve this problem.
Because there's too many students like myself who've gotten ripped out of their high school diplomas because of these freaking school boards because these schools are too interested and too hooked on sports, being the best in their city. You know,
I would imagine that for a school to be the best in their city, they would have to have perfect or very high graduation rates, and that you would only be a blemish on their record. Cyrax.
Keeping their ratings up and all that shit. Like, it's honestly ridiculous. Like, whatever happened to helping students like myself out? And one of the students that was like myself in that situation is actually my very good friend, who is literally my little sister, Stephanie Sinso. Like, yeah, she got her high school diploma ripped off too.
Yeah, I wonder how hers was ripped off.
And we both went to the same exact school. And I honestly don't know how many other students went to that school or how many got.
Well, you could easily tell how many students went to the school. Cyrax, you said that you bought the yearbook. Just add them all up, Cyrax. Just count them all down. You know, make an X off of each one of their names, and you can go down the list, Cyrax. It's just that easy. And I would imagine that it would not be too difficult to uncover how many students graduated versus how many students did not graduate.
Ripped off, but it's really unfair.
No one got ripped off, Cyrax. Just shut it.
Whereas, this happens. Every year there are students like myself that don't graduate, who deserve to graduate high school. Like, something needs to be done.
Well, again, Cyrax, I suggest a class action lawsuit to hold everyone accountable who is promulgating and proliferating this selective passing that you have fallen prey to.
Like, it really isn't fair that this goes on.
No, total bullshit. Real tragedy and a travesty. We get it.
And, you guys are probably thinking, well, why didn't you, go for your GED? Well, here it costs a lot of money to do that.
Sorry, it doesn't cost any money to go to high school and pass.
And we don't have that kind of money to get in the classes I need to get my GED, otherwise I would work. But, yeah, we do consider my most improved student of the year award.
Oh my God. Have you guys ever seen or heard of a most improved student of the year award?
Like, falling away, but to me, it's not the same.
No, you're right. The most improved student of the year award and a diploma are not the same. One is a real thing, and the other you made up. Like, it's just that simple.
Like, and I don't know whether it's happening just here in the Ohio school system or if it's all over, but if it is, it needs to be put to a stop. Like, too many, students like myself have fallen through the cracks over the years, and they wonder why. They're left wondering why, like, what did I do wrong? And if you are in that situation like I was, I want you guys to know that you did nothing wrong. You did everything you had to do to graduate. Yes, I'm talking to you, the people out there that are watching this, that are in that situation that I was in. I want you guys to know that you did nothing wrong. It was the school systems that messed with it.
Yeah, you don't know your timetables? Not your fault.
The school systems are picking and choosing who graduates and who doesn't.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, it's completely arbitrary. Just either at random or simply because teachers and administrators have a disdain or a dislike for a particular student, they'll single them out and deny them graduation for no reason whatsoever.
The school systems are
It's not your fault.
picking and choosing who graduates and who
You're not a
doesn't.
dum-dum.
You guys didn't do anything wrong. And if you do start to notice it, instead of just sitting there and letting it happen like I did, because I had no idea of the signs. I had no idea that there were any signs to
There are no signs, Cyrax. You didn't pass Algebra 1.
notice this type of deal. But if you are noticing this, don't just sit there and let these school principal and these people in the school system bully you around. Stand up and say something. Fight back against it. Don't do like I did and wait. Because by the time you wait like I did, it'll be too late.
Interesting.
And you deserve to graduate with your class. You deserve that.
So, Carrie, have you noticed or observed any students being given the selective passing routine? Wait a second. So it only costs $30 for Cyrax to get its GED? Okay, so your offer to Cyrax is that you'll give him $30 to take these GED courses. I mean, if that's all it is, then all right. I encourage you to give him the $30 for his GED. But if it's anything more than that, it's just a waste of your money. He's a dum-dum.
You deserve to have a future. And I'm telling you guys this so that you are made aware of what's really going on in these school systems that they don't want us knowing about. And I figured it out on my own long ago, but I didn't really have the courage to, really speak up about it until now.
Cyrax, if you are able to illuminate this selective passing process, you will be a hero. I'm not sure if you could be eligible for. No, I don't think you would be. I think only your attorneys can make referrals and profit off of lawsuit suggestions. But I mean, you would definitely make a name for yourself, and you'd be in the front of every newspaper in your town, in your state, for discovering this really fucked up discriminatory process known as selective passing. I would gather up all your facts. I would make your argument, and I would lay it all out there. And you can be the ugly little sawed-off Aaron Brockovich.
Like, I was sitting down working on my music label's website and getting that built up, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, like, how did I get in this situation?
You're dum-dum.
Being as I am to where I don't have a diploma, and I was like, I really need to, speak up about this. Like, something really needs to be done. So I urge you guys,
Dum-dums unite.
if you guys start to notice this, and you guys know that you have all your credits, and that you have the stuff to graduate, and they're still not letting you, get your parents involved, get your family involved, get your neighbors, your friends, get a teacher that you trust, get everybody that you can involved to put an end to this, because it really needs to stop. It really does. Because I don't want to see our future generations of students end up like I did.
I'm 27 years old. No job, no education past 12th grade, no high school diploma, no GED. And that's not my fault. It is because of these school systems that I'm in the situation that I'm in. Yeah, I could have had a great paying job. I could have gone to college, which I was planning on doing. Because that week before the whole ordeal happened, I had applied for a college called Musicians Institute out in California.
Let me take a look at this. It sounds like an outright scam. Okay, yeah, it's a for-profit institution. It's a fucking joke. Online music courses. Jesus Christ. What a fucking laugh. Good thing you didn't, Cyrax. You would have gotten burned, dude.
I was very interested in music just as much as I am now. So, I wanted to further my education and, make it a career. And, if I hadn't been able to go out there, they would have, taught me how to do music the proper way.
Yeah, he still hasn't learned how notes are, or scales, or what else is there? Tones. Like, he knows none of it. All he basically knows how to do is to find copyright-free beats, claim them as his own, rap over them, and waste his time. That's all he's really ever accomplished. He's bounced around between at least 18 different record labels, none of which he's made an album for. As Big Will says, he only has himself to blame,
How to mix, how to master, filmography, which is like filming and shooting, videos, music videos, TV shows, all that stuff. They would have taught me everything I needed to know in that college. And I literally applied there that week before. And I had gotten my acceptance letter that day.
I would be surprised if they still wouldn't have accepted him. I think they would basically accept anyone that is willing to pay. And you don't even need to graduate high school to attend this fucking place. Let me see here. Let me just take a quick peek at Musicians Institute in California. Okay, it is rated 1 out of 5 stars. Yeah, it would have been a disaster if he attended via online.
Or they had called me down. And, after the whole ordeal happened, I literally had to sit here at home in our living room and call up the head
totally
instructor there. And
yeah, I guess the Trump University was a reach, and Musicians Institute was a fallback.
And I explained to him the situation and why I was not able to go. And it killed me to do that because I'd worked really hard. I had financial aid helping me with, the costs and everything. Like, I had everything going for me. But because of the school board not letting me graduate, I lost out on a future. I lost out on all that.
True.
So I guess the lesson for this video, if you start to see this kind of thing happening with you or somebody that you know, don't just sit there and do nothing.
Yeah, like Cyrax, if you're not passing Algebra 1, don't just sit there and do nothing, I'm sure even if you just had a good attitude, your teacher probably would have given you a D-, But you're just such a little jerk-off that your attitude ruins everything for you.
Stand up and help them.
You always say that your physical appearance is what holds you back. It's really not. It's your fucking attitude.
Speak up. Because I'm sure I'm not the one that's happy. I'm sure there's many others out there.
Yeah, he's saying that anyone who doesn't have a 4.0 GPA isn't allowed to graduate, and that the school board and the teachers arbitrarily, at random, pick students out who they decide aren't going to graduate, and then they make their life a living hell. Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
Happen to, and the schools don't want us to recognize that this is going on. And I know what you guys are thinking is probably just some
correct,
stupid thing, but I'm here to tell you that this is very real. This is not fake. I'm living proof of that. And so is my best friend Stephanie Sunso. If you look her up on Facebook, she's on my friends list. That's Stephanie, SINSEL, I believe. But me and her both are living proof of that situation.
Mm-hmm. They're dum-dums.
Yeah, if you guys want more proof, you guys can look up, like I said, my friend Stephanie Sunso. That's Stephanie, SINSEL. You guys can look her up on Facebook. Me and her went to the exact same school.
Hang on one second. I'm going to have to get a hold of this. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I got a Facebook message from one Tony Bain. Greetings. That is a shocker. A greeting from Tony Bain Jr. Was not expecting that. What a pleasant surprise. I wonder what he's up to. Let's give him a call here. Well, yeah, it's getting late. It might have to do that at a later point. Little fucking creep.
And we had just caught up recently. And, because we hadn't seen each other since high school, so we wound up catching up and talking to each other. And that's when she informed me about what had happened with her and her situation, which was literally the same exact situation as mine. So, if you are going to high school, or if you have kids, or if you're an adult or a parent, and you do have kids that are in high school, always check their credits. Like, always ask your kid how many credits they have, and if they don't know, they can easily go to their counselor, their principals, even their teachers. Have them find out how many they have. Find out how many credits you need for your school system to graduate, and sit down with your son or your daughter or whoever it is that you have that's in high school, and go over how many credits they have. And if they have enough credits to graduate high school and they're still not being allowed to graduate, speak up and say something. Do something about it. Because this is a very real situation that happens all over the United States and all over the world. There's too many students being cheated out of their high school diplomas. There's too many students like myself being cheated out of their futures. All because the schools want to be ignorant and selfish. And instead of worrying about education and helping those students that really need the help to graduate, they would rather focus on basketball teams and having the best city ratings. They would rather be the best school in the city than to help that one student.
Well, I don't know if all of their time, effort, and energy expended on helping the basketball team win a game or two really stop you from learning your times tables. Yeah, sorry, I was just thrown off for a little bit. I got a message from Tony wishing me a Merry Christmas. I just responded, I'm Jewish.
That wants to graduate, that works hard to graduate. Instead of helping that one student out, they'd rather focus on the school status and where they stand in the standings of the school. And, you know, it's ridiculous. There needs to be a change, and honestly, that change needs to start now. It really does. So if you do have, you know, a child or are in high school, you know, share this video around with everybody that you know, man. Like, if you guys want to, you're more than welcome to download this video. There are various sites where you can convert.
I mean, you should just call this entire effort Dum Dums Unite. You know, I think that's got a nice ring to it. If you were a dum dum, get a hold of me. You know, I'm leading the charge against corruption and bias and discrimination towards dum dums.
And download this video. You know, share it with everybody, man. Share it with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, aunt, uncle, you know, neighbors. Share with, you know, those in your school that don't know what's going on. Share with your teachers, you know, your principals, everybody. Share with everyone. Like, you know, this needs to be sought after and put a stop to. It really does. Like, this is very serious. And I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this. I know there's many others out there like myself who've gone through the same thing.
Yeah, we got it. Dum Dums Unite. Okay, all right. This one was pretty interesting.
What up, y'all?
Yeah, I'm actually probably going to. Yeah, I'm probably just going to leave this running here. I got to head out for a brief moment. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this running probably. Everybody, thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciated you guys tuning in, as always. That's that. Yeah, well, buenos noches, and have a pleasant evening. And I guess morning, probably more so now. But yeah, farewell. Godspeed.
I enjoy it, James. I wanted to talk about something here. And this is something I have a friend named Bucky Jones who is on the run from the police. And the reason I found this out is through my now ex-friend, Ashley Armstrong, who, by the way, thinks that her knowing the info that she knows is not harboring a fugitive. And she's sitting there saying, I'm a snitch. No, I'm not a snitch. I'm trying to do the right thing and bring down a fucking criminal that needs stopped. How is that being a snitch? This guy has been on the run for 8 years. 8 fucking years this guy has been on the run. And Ashley, you knowing what you know about Bucky, it don't matter whether you were there or not. You don't have to be there to be harboring a fugitive. You are withholding info. You are aiding and abetting a fugitive that's on the run, knowing what you know. And you don't need to get involved with that. So you can think I'm a snitch all you want. You can fucking hate my guts. I don't give a fuck. But you doing what you're doing is a crime. Ask any officer. They will tell you the exact same thing. You don't need to get involved with that. You need to turn his ass in. You might not know exactly where he's at, but he leaked out info knowing that, you know, somebody would say something. And you can think that people treat me like shit because I'm a snitch. You got it all fucking twisted, bitch. It ain't because of that. It's because of my physical appearance and how I fucking am. It's not because of that. It's because of other shit. So don't fucking sit there and say that it's because of that, because it ain't. You got it fucking twisted, sister. Which, by the way, if you were any kind of family, you wouldn't be harboring this guy. You would be saying, hey, look, you need to do what's right and turn yourself in. But no, you want to sit there and call me a snitch? Really? I ain't a snitch. I'm just somebody who's trying to do the right thing. And doing the right thing is turning this guy in. Which you can run all you like to, because guess what? I have both your Facebook and his, and both y'all's pictures. So don't sit there and think that you can get away with this. Because what you're harboring and aiding and abetting, knowing where this guy is, you are aiding and abetting a fugitive. And that's not okay. If you were any kind of family, you wouldn't be sitting here doing this. You would be turning him in. You can say I'm a snitch all you want. You can run your mouth about me all you like. I don't give a fuck. But you know what? I'm not a snitch. I'm not. When you say I'm a snitch, that makes it sound like the Juggalos are a gang, and they're not a gang. They're a family of underground people who enjoy the same kind of music. It's people like you that give the Juggalos a bad name. Because you treat it like a gang. It's not a gang. They're a group of underground music-loving people who enjoy bands like ICP, Twisted, ABK, Blaze, Tech Nine, Thompson. But you are no Juggalo. You are a fake. You're treating it like a gang, and it's not like that. It is not a gang. Because you know what? A real family member from the Juggalos would and turn that person in. That's what they would have done. I'm sorry, but I don't aid and abet criminals. That's not me. I do the right thing. Yeah, he might have a lawyer, but that don't mean shit. He's been on the run for 8 years. And they will catch him eventually. Eventually, they will find him. And when they do, he will go to jail. And if they find that you knew any kind of info, they'd take you to jail too. And like I told you, you don't need that shit. You don't need to be going to jail. You're aiding and abetting a criminal. And that's not okay. At all. Like I said, you can hate me all you want, you can talk shit all you want, but the point is, you are aiding and abetting a criminal. A dude hey Henry, what's up, buddy? It's a guy named Bucky Jones. He's on my friends list. And the girl that told me this, her name is Angel Armstrong. I can send you both links if you want them, man. All you gotta do is private message me and I'll send you the links. But she had just spoken with him a little while ago and told me about what was going on. And I'm sorry if I might seem like I'm a dick. Well, I'm sorry I might seem like I'm a snitch, but you know what? Being a snitch is better than having a criminal on my friends list that's wanted in several different states. Like I said, he might have a lawyer, but that don't mean shit. What it boils down to is that he was on the run. He's running from the cops. He's running from the police. You might not be able to trust me again. That's fine. That's whatever, dude. That's on you. But you know what? At least I'm honest and straight up. And yes, I consider myself a well. I've been with the underground family for as long as I can remember. And yes, I'll admit, I feel like the Juggalos don't need to be on the gang list. Because there are people within the Juggalos that, you know, they commit crimes because they're not right in the head. And then they use the Juggalos and the music as a cop-out, which is bullshit. That's why we're all getting a bad name, is because of people like that. And because of people like you. You sit there and you treat it like a gang. Makes people treat it like a gang. So you sit there and say, oh, I'm not a snitch. I don't do this. I don't do that. No. Like, I can understand if, like, you know, like if you're smoking weed or whatever. I'm not going to say anything about that. But when you're on the run from the police for 8 years, then yeah, I'm going to speak up and say something. Because it's the right thing to do. But apparently you don't know what it's like to be an honest person. To go to the police and be like, hey, yes, I know this person, they spoke to them. And, you know, like, you don't know how to be an honest person. You'd rather aid and abet a criminal. You don't have to be there physically to aid and abet. You could be holding information, which I'm pretty sure you know. Do you not realize that that's aiding and abetting a criminal? That's information that the police can use to bring him in to help him get back on the right track after he gets out. That's information they can use to find him and bring him in. That way he can get the help he fucking needs. But no, you'd rather aid and abet a fucking federal criminal. And what you don't realize actually is I'm a lot smarter than you think. I'm 2 steps ahead of you. I have both your guys' pictures and both your guys' Facebooks. All I have to do is hand them over to the right people, and they can hand them over to the authorities. And all I have to do is be like, hey, this person associated with this person, and they're going to come straight to you, knocking at your door, asking you questions. And if you don't tell them the truth and they find out that you did talk to him, and you're not telling the police what they need to know, then guess what? You're just as much a criminal as he is. You're aiding and abetting a fugitive, a wanted felon.